What is a complaint you have about your job that no one outside your profession is likely to understand? I know your kid didn't just go in the car. Please, for the love of God, change your kid out of their nighttime diaper before dropping them off at daycare. When they're literally wearing a nighttime diaper and it's cold to the touch, I know you didn't change them. I almost put this and I'm so glad you said it. Your kid is wearing a nighttime diaper and the clothes he wore yesterday that reek of pee. But sure, he just went in the car. Just tell me that your buddy here took H for frick's sake. We both know that he did and you're wasting my time. I'm not a cop. Narcan intensifies. He ate a poppy seed bagel. 100 of them. Sometimes people just stop bringing their dog to us. Maybe they moved. Maybe the dog died. Maybe they work from home now. Or maybe they just bring their dog to a different daycare. If you stop bringing your dog without warning, we do notice. And we miss them. We worry about them. And we never forget them. We hope they, and you, are doing well. I work in shipping in a factory. I have to make a lot of cardboard boxes. The cuts on my arms and hands from the cardboard suck, as well as the cardboard fibers that get stuck in your clothes. It takes forever to get those dang things out. That cardboard dries your hands out, too. Lotion isn't very effective against it, either. Caterer. When serving on site and guests complain we don't have some off-menu special requests such as a vegetarian option, gluten-free, etc. Your host chose and ordered the food. If they tell us some folks are celiac or vegan, we love to accommodate. But we bring all the food with us and nothing extra. It is annoying that clients don't think of their vegetarian friends when ordering. 2. Kids face next to no consequences for behavior anymore, at school or at home. A kid can call me a fuckhead and throw his chair across the room, get sent to the office, and be back in my classroom in 5 minutes. Then I call home and yeah, he does stuff like that a lot. I just let him do whatever, cause if I punish him he gets mad. Or well, what did you do that made him react like that? Were you being a fuckhead? As a graphic designer, definitely spec work. Do you go to a doctor and only pay him if you like the way he treated you? Or eat a burger at a restaurant and after you finish decide you actually would have liked a pizza instead, so you leave without paying? Or hold a contest to see which babysitter did the best job of watching your kids for the afternoon and only pay the winner? Seriously, I could go on and on. Pay people for their work. I'm a public defender. My clients often think I'm not a real lawyer, or I wasn't good enough to get a better job, or I can't get the positive results a paid lawyer can get. I'm actually a very good lawyer, and can frequently do a much better job than whatever clown you hire out of the phone book. Just tell me straight out you don't want to restart your computer. If I can see it been on for 14 days and you tell me you restarted 10 minutes ago, I lose faith in any other answers you give me. They restarted the monitor, but they're calling it the computer. What you know as the computer could be hard drive or modem or CPU to them. I've played the What's Your Tech vocabulary game before. Not fun. There are so many rubber bands involved in library circulation. There is nothing worse than when Bonnie from Adult Cert comes and takes my rubber bands. Freaking Bonnie. Not just rubber bands. I've had my sellotape, stapler and scissors nicked by freaking teachers who think they need the supplies more than the librarian. Get absolutely fricked, Geraldine. I run a cam vid at large events. Big complaint is when we're doing a promo cam or just a dance cam and someone is screaming for my attention. I put them up and they go all prairie dog on me. Look at me. Look at me. Don't look at me. Ain't gonna lie, I read that as porno cam. I'm a mid-level manager in a large global company, so on paper it's a really great job with all the benefits. The complaint is that since I am someone with a lot of ideas and want to drive change, I tend to get frustrated because our senior managers can't make decisions. Most large companies I've worked with become like large government departments at is. There is far too much discussion, debate, analysis, and everyone is too scared to make a decision lest they be proven wrong and damage their career progression. As a senior leader, you're better off making lots of small, safe decisions and maintain things than try to forge a bold, new path. Teacher here. I could complain about the lack of funding, the standardized testing, the terrible students and their terrible parents. However, it is the overuse of acronyms that drives me nuts. I'm going to spend my PLC time to finish my IPDI. That will help my GTL and Ella, who is getting an IEP at the MRT meeting. Oh, the acronyms. I'm a sign language interpreter at a high school for both students and faculty. My first week I was interpreting a PLC and they started talking about elves. I almost signed elves cause that's what I heard. I quickly snuck a peek behind me and saw it on the board. I made it a point to learn the dang acronyms before the meeting after that. I'm a non-profit marketing, and the only marketing person at my non-profit. All my co-workers think my only job is to make things look pretty. I work in the child welfare system, not a lawyer, not a social worker. Just to clarify, the last 2 weeks of school we get bogged down and backlogged by a torrential downpour of truancy reports. To the schools that wait a full semester to report a kiddo that has shown up for 2 full days of class, I don't get you. And for the people that peace out several weeks early to go on some massive summer break road trip vacay, you have to formally withdraw transfer, at least excuse your child or you will get reported for truancy because school attendance is the law. Also, please don't call and yell at me over having a case opened on your truant child. I literally push papers, write memos, and send schedule reminders. I have neither the power nor the desire to do that. I teach. People don't realize how much money we spend on our classrooms. $4,000 in 1 year is a lot. The school districts make it worse by taking advantage of the fact that teachers are willing to spend their own money and do things like stop buying paper mid-year. I've spent the last 6 months working on this one paper and I just learned this other paper makes a similar point. But you see, mine deserves to be published because my point is slightly more interesting. Please publish my paper. I feel like, particularly if you've done independent research, another paper with a similar point is a good thing because now we have corroboration. That I must earn a fortune as a funeral director. I love the job, but I made much more pushing mops at a hospital, coffin manufacturers, cemeteries, chemical companies, doctors, cemetery crematorium, celebrants, government on fees, all make much more. That's where your money goes that you pay a funeral director. Also, another misconception that I'm some sort of legal expert on wills etc. Note, I'm a funeral director, not a lawyer. Being expected to work 12-hour shifts while taking crap for things you can't control and never being paid for overtime. If you're waiting, that means you aren't dying. You're waiting hours because there are people dying that need our attention. We really are sorry that you are waiting. We don't want you to be here as much as you don't want to be here. If we could get you in and out to get on with your day, believe me, we would. The one time I went in with severe abdo, don't do CrossFit, they had an IV in both arms before I had barely told them my name. Tridge works. As a nurse, if someone clogs their toilet or their TV malfunctions, I'm expected to become a maintenance man right away. If someone gets slightly thirsty or wants a snack, I'm supposed to drop the life-saving medicine I'm passing to become a waiter. The patient needs to call someone or needs someone's phone number. I guess I'm a secretary now. I can name a few other scenarios. Basically, as a nurse, your patients often are non-compliant with their care and instead see their stay as though they are in a 6-star resort where they don't have to lift a finger. It's crazy how many hats nurses have to wear. OMG, so much this. Nurse, the TV is not working. Nurse, my tea is cold. Nurse, fluff my pillow even though both arms are working and I'm going home today. Grown adults know nothing about their bodies or other people's bodies, and it's important to not be condescending when you explain what a clitoris is. Seriously people, you can't just slap a linear regression on any set of data. There are assumptions that you must meet before you can claim that your analysis has any meaning. Not so much a complaint, but more just my constantly worrying inner monologue. Did I turn my gas tanks off correctly? Did I bleed the lines? Is my shop filling up with propane and oxygen right now? Is my house going to freaking explode? Did that hot piece of glass that went flying ever cool down, or is it smoldering somewhere and just waiting to start to fire when I'm not looking? Glass splinters really hurt because they are so clean and sharp they tend to go straight to the bone. If I had one complaint I think doesn't apply to most people, it's this. You think stepping on Legos in the middle of the night is the freaking worst. Try stepping barefoot all over some broken glass because you're an idiot and forgot to sweep it up earlier when you were working. In my life, broken glass everywhere is just normal. That was a long night of picking dirty broken glass out of the bottom of both of my feet and bleeding so much I completely drenched 2 bath towels in blood. Also, I accidentally poured rubbing alcohol on the wound instead of hydrogen peroxide and I literally felt my scrotum tighten up from the stinging pain, like it was afraid it was next. Also, having molten glass drip into your lap is the worst because your pants burst into flames instantly. Luckily it dripped into the spot just beyond the tip of my dong and fell between my legs and splattered on the concrete below, with 2 burning holes on the front and back of the crotch of my pants. So yeah, almost dripping a drop of man-made lava onto my balls was certainly a wake-up call. I work standing up at all times now and refuse to sit in a chair and do lamp working. No sir, never again. I'd rather it drip onto my shoe and burn a toe or 2 off instead of my balls any day of the week. Also, have you ever been hanging out in the middle of the summer in the high 90s low 100s and thought to yourself that what you need to do right now is hop behind a blazing hot torch for a few hours? I swear I've boiled my brain in my shop a few times. I only took half a semester of glass blowing before deciding I was all set with being burnt to crap on the regular. This makes me all the more thankful for all of the glass artists that literally play with fire to make my pretty paraphernalia though. That I don't really believe you when you say your glasses just fell apart and you are so careful with them. I can see that they have been beat to crap. I can see that they have been bent and straightened multiple times. I can see all the scratches. I can see that they haven't been cleaned since you picked them up. They go straight into the ultrasonic cleaner before I do anything. We call it nose cheese. And I know that you got them online. It doesn't matter, we adjust all glasses. Fitting not necessary. Also, that I know you don't understand optics. So you're telling me what you think is the problem won't help. Tell me what you are experiencing. That's how I know what the problem is. It's like going to the doctor and saying I have cancer, give me chemo, when all you need is an aspirin. Let me do my job. I sell things on eBay and Amazon for a living. Both websites are constantly making it harder for smaller sellers to make a living by catering almost exclusively to buyers. For example, anyone can now buy anything on Amazon or eBay, use it for a month, dang near destroy it, and then simply claim it is not as described and send it back for a full refund. Oh, and I have to pay the shipping both ways. Most of us are honest people who sell decent items and are just trying to pay our rent. A few bad apples and a slew of Chinese mass manufacturers are making it very difficult. Please don't do this to small sellers. If you're pissed off at capitalism and feel entitled to free crap, take it from Best Buy or Walmart. Don't rob the single mother selling homemade jewelry or the local bookshop trying to bolster sales online. People not sanitizing their hands between cat cages, or letting their kids stick their fingers in every cage. Cats are getting really sick at my shelter. You don't know heartache until you have to euthanize a once cuddly, playful kitten because people couldn't spare 2 seconds to apply hand sanitizer and caused her to get a terrible upper repository infection. RIP Sasha. Right, that hand sanitizer is there for a reason. I can't stand it when people do that. Keeping it brief, I deal with doctors all day and it's amazing how little they understand in regards to the business end of things. It's understandable though. They go to a lot of school and are fully immersed in their field, but it's amazing how little they understand when it comes to taking care of their practice and its growth. For God's sake, Jim, I'm a doctor, not a businessman. Getting called in for a surgery that could definitely wait until the next morning, just because the on-call surgeon didn't want to go last. 1-star reviewers. Man. I get it. You didn't like the book. That's cool. I understand that romance isn't for everyone. We've all read books that were a little disappointing. But dang, there's no need to be so vitriolic about it. With some people it's like an arms race of how disparaging they can be towards the author. The author who, it has to be said, has at most taken a couple of dollars and a few hours of their time. Based on some of the reviews I've had, you'd honestly think that the middle third of the book was made up entirely of pictures of the reviewer's husband cheating on her with the babysitter. I have long felt that any reviewer who expresses rage and loathing for a novel or a play or a poem is preposterous. He or she is like a person who has put on full armor and attacked a hot fudge sundae or a banana split. Kurt Vonnegut Jr. Work in a preschool classroom. Please at least send your child in with shoes that fit because I'm too poor to keep buying shoes and too soft to let the children suffer. That no matter how many times you tell a patient to lay on the X-ray table on their back, they will always lay however the frick they want to. As an X-ray patient, I have done this, and I apologize. As a house cleaner, why do you need 50 throw rugs? If you don't like hard floors, carpet your house. They are a giant pain in my butt. The vacuum tears them up, so I have to use the attachment and then take them all out, shake them out, put them somewhere while I mop and then remember where they all go. Giant pain in the butt. I know, my partner bought some. All they look like to me is dust collectors. No matter how spot on your weather forecast is, if it's 1 degree colder or hotter in their county, people berate you for being wrong. Or when you say there is a 30% chance of rain and it rains and people come to you saying you said it wasn't going to rain. No, I said there was a 30% chance of rain. That means it still could fricking rain, you moron. As a dental assistant, you see the true colors and bad sides of the dentists, and the abuse you have to put up with sometimes as their employees. No one ever sees it because they act like the happiest, nicest people to the patients, but they're not at all. I'm gonna assume that this doesn't apply to every single dentist, just the ones who are bad in private and put on a facade. Where is this happening? Poorly phrased, but I'm still building good habits. At my house. Alright. What's your address? I don't know. Drop it. That is not a food. I've pried some fun crap out of dogs' mouths. To add to this, turd burgling. If you have a dog, it either will, actively does, or has seriously considered consuming a turd. Also, if you ask us to do more than refill the water dish, hand over a prepared Kong, or put the dog back in their crate, tip us. I'm here to take care of your dog, not to prep your home for you when you get off work. That people don't only call 911 for true emergencies. I've taken more benign complaints to the hospital than legitimate ones. On that note, we're not just ambulance drivers, we have training and I need to perform an assessment and ask you a lot of questions before going to the hospital. Don't tell me to just take you to the hospital, that's not all I do. That, and please for the love of God pull to the right and stop when an emergency vehicle comes up behind you. Pulling to the left or just slamming on the brakes in front of us does us no favors. Performing musician, recording, mixing engineer here. I constantly get asked to work for free, for far less than the rate I charge, or for my personal favorite, exposure. But the second I ask the person who called me if they can work for me for free, all of a sudden it's a problem. If you ask anyone of any profession to work for free, you're a C. End of story. All this must be done tonight. Okay, you realize this is 15 hours worth of work because I can't make the machine go faster? Oh okay. You realize I am only here for 8 hours, right? No, I am not staying. I have a family and I don't know how to spray LPI. No, I don't want to know, else I'll be here till 2 AM. Failure to plan on your part does not constitute an emergency on mine. I'd like to place a delivery. Okay, sure. What's your phone number? Oh, I don't know. A minute or two passes while they try to figure out what their own phone number is. Great, thanks. What's your address? I don't know. Or my personal favorite, when I read their order back to them and they correct me that they don't want beef. They want hamburger. What the frick do you think hamburger meat is made out of? Former job. Still salty. Stop bringing me 400 pounds of wash half an hour before close and then bitching when IT won't be done tonight. Current job. So your kid is turning 12? That's cool. Did you think that maybe their birthday comes on the same day each year and can be planned for? What's that? Oh, you always wait until the last minute, hee? Lady IT's Saturday morning during graduation wedding season. I can't just fit you in. Oh, what's that? It's just cake and icing. How hard can it be? It's not, just like planning ahead isn't. Go frick yourself. I do my best to fit people in whenever I can. I do get legitimate last minute situations. Other parents said they got a cake. They lied. Foster kid has a birthday 2 days after they arrive. Cake got dropped, eaten by squirrels, melted, cracked. And I will go out of my way to accommodate those people. But giggling like it's cute while you tell me you intentionally waited until the last minute? I hate you. You sign a 9-month contract where you teach 2 semesters, fall and spring. Sounds great to have long and paid summers, but if you want to keep your job at a research university, those are the 3 months in the year you work your butt off the most, including writing grants, papers, serving the profession, university, going to conferences, etc. It's not unpaid vacation, more like unpaid work. You're no more special than the guy who travels 1 night a year. No one gives a flying frick if you're a diamond member or a club member. You're going to be treated the same but with a different spiel. This is actually really reassuring for people who don't fly all the time. The abuse of power within a job title. Then they wonder why you don't want to go to work functions or Christmas parties and exchange Secret Santa gifts with co-workers. They'll just stab you in the back or throw you under the bus to save their own butt the second they're back on the clock. I work at a high school. You all scream at us and call us heartless when we have to end your benefits. Rarely do we want to do this. We typically do it because you've stopped attending treatment, or have decided to go out of the country for a few months, or you simply aren't actually hurt or sick and are using disability benefits because you don't like your job. I get it. Some of my claimants have jobs that sound freaking awful, but if there's not valid medical reasoning for why you can't work, I can't approve those payments. We're far from heartless. When we have claimants who are terminal, it ruins us. When we get a call or an email that a claimant has passed, it's hard to describe. It's not like finding out a friend or a loved one has passed away, but we get to know these people. We typically call them every 6 weeks for updates. For some of our claimants we've talked every 6 weeks for 2 years. In some cases they hear from us more often than they do from family members. There's a relationship there, and as weird as it is, it hits us hard when they die. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.